Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm finally back, I've returned. I know that it's been a little while, I hope you guys haven't forgotten about me, but to try and make up for that I have something a little different for you this video. But before I get onto that, I've just got a couple of things that I want to say. I'll try and keep it short, I promise. So the first thing, I just want to thank those of you that left the heartwarming messages on my last video and those of you that sent me personal messages. You guys do care. So I just wanted to thank those of you that did that. And I was going to do a little bit of whining about the new comment system, but I know that a lot of guys have been doing it. It's pretty apparent that there's problems with it. So I'm just going to say this. What they've basically done is they've gotten rid of my inbox, so they've made it pretty difficult to tell if, when, where you guys have actually commented on my videos. It makes it pretty hard to find and respond to you. And on top of that, I can't actually reply to all of you. For some reason, there seems to be about, at the moment, a 50-50 split whether or not I can reply to you. The little reply button, not there for everybody. I don't know what causes that, but it has been gradually getting better because it started off like I couldn't respond to 95% of you, so they're obviously working on that. So you can imagine the frustrations that I'm having, and they're just the problems that I'm having as a content creator, so I can only imagine what you guys are dealing with. So I'm sorry if I've seemed a little absent in the comments, but there's nothing that I can really do about it until YouTube makes some more changes. So if for some reason you do have to contact me for any reason at all, the best way, and will always be the best way, is private messages. But that's all I'm willing to say on the recent changes to YouTube. On to the next thing. Some of you guys have been asking, if you quit, when are you coming back? Are you going to start making videos again? When are you starting making videos? The return is now. I am back. I'm back in full force. When this video gets posted, you can assume that my uploading schedule has returned to normal, maybe even slightly faster for a while. I've been building stuff while I've been gone, and it needs to get tutorialed. There you go. Questions answered. So on to the actual meaningful part of this video, the house roundup. So some of you might be familiar with this concept as I've done 2 of these videos in the past, but I'm guessing that the majority of you won't be. So what's a house roundup? I'm glad that you asked that, Timmy. It's very simple. I'm going to give you a very thorough look around each one of these individual houses. I've labelled them 1 to 6. And then, participation required. I would like you guys to comment which houses, in which order, you would like to see me tutorial, if any whatsoever. For example, you like house number 1, 2, 3 in that exact order. I'd like you to comment that down below. You don't even have to like all of them, you don't have to like one of them or any of them whatsoever, but I would like you guys to comment if you do like some of them. And assuming that you guys play, what I'll do is I'll come back to the comments section 5 days from now. I will assert a build order based on what you guys have commented, from most popular to least popular. And then 1 week from now, you will have a brand new shiny house tutorial. I just thought that this might be a fun first video back, and it also stops me building stuff that you guys won't collectively like. And I have just one more thing to say before I get things started, I promise. What I like to try and make abundantly clear with the houses that I put on my channel, not every single one of them are of my design. It's probably about a 50-50 split between me and a real life friend of mine. But in this case, every single one of the houses that you can see, all 6 of them are his. I had no idea that he was actually building any houses. He just kind of surprised me with it the other day. And you guys have liked his designs in the past, so I guess we'll see how you like these. And I just wanted to make that abundantly clear that I had no part whatsoever in designing these, but that is more than enough talking. Let's get started. Alright guys, so as I said earlier, I have all of the houses labelled out 1 to 6, and it only makes sense that we view them in order. And by the way, I've not actually seen that much of these houses. I wanted to leave it to this video to give you my first impressions, just so I'd have something to talk about. So as I show you around, I'm just gonna rattle off a few things that I like, maybe some things that I dislike. We'll see. This is house number 1. As you can see, it's a pretty small house. It's one of the smaller out of the bunch of them, but I'm not going to hold that against it because, as some of you may know, I have a weird thing for miniature stuff in Minecraft. I like the smaller houses, I like the smaller pixel art. I don't know why it is, I just like the tiny little details that you can add in when you don't have to focus on a massive mound of material. And I've got to say that I like the overall design. I'm fond of the more traditional designs. I especially like how the roof is done and how it has a porch regardless of the fact that it is pretty tiny. The only thing that I would change is the jungle wood. I'm not usually a fan of it, but I will say that this house can actually pull it off. And as you can see, there's not really that much to talk about in the interior. There's nothing there, there's not that much space. So the only cons I would say are the jungle wood and the lack of interior space, but it is a nice design. That is house number 1. This is house number 2, and several things I like about it instantly. Number 1, it's a more modern design. It's something that I don't do. I always go for a more old-fashioned, a more traditional design. Number 2, I like the fact that it has a flat roof. I think that you can be a lot more creative, a lot more experimental with a flat roof than you can a normal one. Number 3, I like the colours used on the outside of the house. My personal favourite wood colour combination is birchwood planks and just normal spruce wood. I think that looks the best. I also like the complexity of the roof. I like how the slabs are used and I like how it's layered. I also like the seemingly random nature of the outside of the house. It's all different shapes, it's all crazy. And something that I like about this as well, I like how you get into the house. I like how the entrance is like pretty much in the middle, slap bang in the middle of the house, and you have to walk into it. I like how the interior is planned out, although interiors don't matter that much to me since you can just change them at will. But I like how it's kind of a loft design, like you have your ground floor, and then you have another level that you can look down upon. I'm fond of those. The only thing that I would actually change about this house is probably the colour of the roof. I probably would have made it a stone roof, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I like this house. It's a nice design overall. I'll give it an 8. That was house number 2. This is house number 3, and it is so far my favourite for these reasons. Number 1, it's a miniature design. As I said, I have a weird thing for the miniature houses. I don't know what it is. Number 2, the actual design itself. Look at the outside of the house. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's fantastic. Number 3, the colour combination. As I said earlier, on the previous house in fact, the birch, the spruce, wonderful. Best colour combination in my eyes. And it also has a stone roof, or half and half stone roof, which fixes a problem that I had with the previous house. And just look at the interior. Look at the downstairs of it. It looks pretty cool. Something that I don't do. Interiors, it's actually furnished. And when you go upstairs, right here, look how big it actually looks. You saw how tiny it is on the outside. It's surprisingly spacious on the inside. It's a cool house. You could do a lot with it. I really like the design. Combines 2 things that I liked about the 2 previous houses. Number 1, it's miniature. Number 2, it's modern. 10 out of 10 for me. That was house number 3. This is house number 4, and I think I have a new frontrunner. I think it's definitely my favourite. As much as I like the miniature houses, this just trumps it. I can't even tell you what specifically puts it ahead. It's just got a mishmash of so many things. And I'm probably going to be repeating myself here, but a lot of these houses strike the same vein. So the first thing, it's another modern design. It's cool looking, it's different. It's not something that you usually see in houses. It's got a completely different concept. Number 2, the colours again. Birch and spruce. Perfect. They balance each other fantastically. Fantastically. It's a word now if it wasn't. I also like the roof. Look at the roof. It's got skylights in there. That's cool. It's also got a balcony built into the house. Not on the house, into the house. Also, look at the interior. Look how much space there is here. You could do whatever you wanted with it. And there are 3 floors of this. The interior is also nicely lit up. There's lots of room, lots of space, lots of light. It's fantastic. And again to this balcony. What I do like about it so much is it's built into the house, not onto it. The house flows perfectly. It's a wonderful design. Definitely my favourite. 11 out of 10. That is house number 4. This is house number 5, and whilst I can't tell you that I have a new favourite, I still very much like this house, and here's why. First thing, the built-in balcony. I'm really starting to like these things. I think that it definitely adds something to the house. It might not be as child-friendly as number 4's, but it's definitely cool nonetheless. Number 2, the actual structure of the house. You might not be able to tell that well from the back, but from the front it's actually got quite a different structure. It's really cool looking. Number 3, something that I said on all of the previous houses, the colours, perfect. Spruce, birch, wonderful. Number 4, the outside of the house isn't so random looking as, like, let's say number 2 and 3, but that isn't a bad thing. It all flows really nicely. It's all quite uniform. I like that. And the only thing that I might have done differently is I might have made the roof ever so slightly less plain, but that is just me. The interior's done nicely. There's again a lot of open space. There's even a pool in there. Can pretty much just do whatever you want with these houses. You could erect a unicorn statue if you so chose. I like the walk across to this little room, by the way. That's kind of cool. And this door just takes you out onto the balcony. Again, not child friendly. I would put railings up. But this has been house number 5. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's not as good to me as house number 4, but that doesn't take anything away from it. It is a very nice house. House number 5. This is house number 6. It is the final house of the Roundup, and it is also the smallest house out of the bunch. It's definitely different to the previous 5 houses that we've seen. It's a lot more traditional, a bit more of an old-fashioned design. It's not as chaotic, it's a bit more uniform than the other houses. It's got the normal roof on there. It's not using the same colour motif. We've got the oak wood instead of the birch. It's a nice little design, nothing wrong with it. Ground floor, surprisingly spacious. The top floor, a little cluttered. Although it does have a little tiny Juliet balcony there, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little design. It's designed pretty well, but I think that the problem is it's overshadowed a little bit by some of the previous houses that I've seen. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, coincidentally, and that has been house number 6. So that is every single one of the houses, and just to reiterate, if you want to see any of those built, all you have to do is comment the order in which you would like me to build them down below. For instance, my personal order would be 4, 3, 5, 1, 2, and 6. So, whatever the order may be, if any whatsoever, comment down below. I will return in 5 days and see which houses you guys like the best. Hey, if you're new around here and you like the video, feel free to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I have plenty more tutorials on my channel, ranging from houses to pixel art and statues, and other miscellaneous stuff as well. Thanks for watching.